What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Let me push my right buttons and pull myself together. It's just Rhonda. Welcome to the channel. Y'all, we here. It's Monday. And we're finally free. Hey, Shayna. Welcome to the channel. Shayna, we're free. We're at the finale. We made it. We made it to the bridge. Did you choose yourself? Because I chose myself and I ain't the only ones. The people who's over here choosing they shelf, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the things. Sometimes Mondays be so weird. Sometimes Mondays I'm speaking for myself. It's just sometimes hard to get started on Mondays, whether you go into work or whatever your, life's journey is. This one is, there's just so much negativity out there. I'm trying to pull myself out of it. Hope for the best. Anyway, y'all, Ready to Love finale. Where do we start? We starting over here with Tommy. We're having the last mixer. We're not really free until the reunion is over. I mean, looks spicy. I feel like let's hope. Let's hope they don't give us the spicy stuff on the, you know what I'm saying, on the what do you call it, preview, and then get us over there to episode 1 of the reunion, and then we're like, oh, this is not what we came for. We came for the pop off. Or they give us the pop off first, and then we gotta, cruise through the other 2 parts. Anyway, we're free. We know who chose who. Now we can get into the mess and the minutia of it all. But before we do that, we gotta see who was chosen and who was not chosen. You know what? Before I get into this episode, can we talk about y'all's queen for a minute? The beloved Rose. The elimination of Rose shook us all. Not me, but some people was over there shook. I'm new to Facebook groups. I don't really mess around. Sometimes I just go over there and see what people are talking about. But I had to go ahead and ask a question over in the Facebook group. Shout out to Lex, because the people be over there in their feelings. It's a little bit exhausting. Anyway, I posed a question. This is the queen, girl. I'm just telling you how it all, went down. So I went happily, skippily over to the Facebook group, and I said, because I feel like it was just so weird, the response that, after she was eliminated. Everybody's like, really loves Rose. I had an opinion. If you want to know what it was, then go ahead on and see what it was. But I just don't feel like Rose was being that authentic. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that. But she has an army of people. They're like millimeters almost over there. So anyway, I posed a question and I said, what if you were dating this guy and you took him to a family dinner and then he just broke out in front of everyone and said, hey, yes, so I was locked up. And now you're sitting there looking like, what did you just say? This is something we haven't talked about. And you just blurted that out to my family. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the whole conversation, the back and forth was, what difference does it make if her man was in jail? And jail. And I was like, the point is, can we please stop talking about whether or not people were incarcerated? The point is, you did not disclose that information to me before you shared it with my family. That's all. And I think that's a pretty big thing. Now my family is looking at me like, so do you really know this guy or not? And I feel like that's how his family was looking at him. Like, so y'all didn't discuss that? I feel like, was it a deal breaker? Would it be a deal breaker for me? Probably not. I would put me on pause and question whether or not you're the type of person that keeps big secrets. So now while we get to know each other, that my other, brain is over there focused on, are you being for real or not? And I feel like when they went to this date with Rose, Cam, and Hussein, and they walked away feeling like, that was a little bit perfect. I don't know. That's what their instincts was letting them know, that nobody is this perfect. Nobody was over here judging Rose because of what her baby daddy did. She raised her son anyway. I do think it was a little bit strange, and I'm going to point it out, that when she was asked about the relationship between her son and his father, her response was, I don't know, child, I just don't even get into those conversations. And I, as a single mom, I would probably ask and just temper how my kid is feeling. If they don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But I'm just, as a mom, I'm going to just, feel out the emotions of my child. Let them know if there's anything you want to talk about, I'm here to listen. So that's it. That's all. R.I.P. Rose. So anyway, we down to the last mixer. Everybody's coming in. Tommy feels the need to, let everybody know, what did he do? Back down memory lane and where we all started from. We got to end the thing. So Tommy decided he wants to end this whole get together with a speech to your man. Hey, El Cid, with a speech to your man Cisco. Why? Why, Tommy, are you telling us this story? Why is it that everybody's expectation is to coddle this big lunk grown ass man who keeps coming over here undressing in the public and sweating on everyone? Because that's where we started with Cisco. I have an issue with this man that I didn't have before. And I'm going to share it with you, but not right now. He's sitting up here with his big grown ass crying because Tommy said, back in the day when I met my wife, man, I didn't have nothing. And she bought my car and I, turned everything around and look at me now. So yeah, his wife held him down. I think when you see people in young love and you're like, look at them out here struggling and they're 20 something and they're, helping each other leg up in life. That's not the same thing as somebody coming over here to take this big 5'7", however big he is, 6'5" or something, thick and large. Whew, child. Anyway. Hey, Kiwan, we're not. Why are we being recruited to come over? And when I say we, I don't mean we like in me, because I ain't going over there. But Taye, this is your king. It's so disappointing. Nobody wants to give this man a leg up. It feels like that's what he's doing. It feels like through his life, he's managed to use his good looks as a means to be taken care of. I don't know the story with him and his mother, but what I do know is when he came back from wherever he went to, he said his mama was not having him stay at her house. Now, I'm not sure if he stays at that sister's house, but it doesn't seem like that sister knows a whole lot about him. 42 is grown as hell. That's ridiculous. That's not the same thing as some young children getting started. Karma killers. What's up? 42, I feel like that's grown as hell. And I feel like at 42, whatever you're going through, struggles, we all got up times and down times. I'm not even judging him for that, but I'm feeling like put some energy into that. Though, if I single, I don't have a car, I'm just going to work on that. Let me just stand alone. Love will come. But your expectations, you over here talking about kids and families and wives. Stop it. Car. Start there. Tommy, cut it out. He's sitting up here crying. That was a performance as well. This man is an actor. He's not making it a secret that he wants to be an actor. He's a fuck boy for sure. Fuck old man. Ciao. Let me get started. After Cisco has his tears, we're going to go ahead and get down to the couples of it all. Let me just say hi to the people. This is exciting. Hey, Tina Bria. I can't keep up on too many things. Love to all of you. But if I keep trying to read what's going on, y'all, like everybody, welcome to the chat. Say hello to each other. And I'm going to keep on keeping on. Y'all can keep on coming with me. Where do we go after that? Hussein. Hussein had to sit down with Angie. So I appreciated this, to be honest. I think they both knew. I don't really know what Angie is over here trying to do, to be honest. I don't know that is she that attracted to either one of them. And when I'm saying attracted, I don't mean like physically, because obviously, that's generally where we start. But when you're talking about long-term things and could this be my person, is that what's going on here? I don't think so. Because I feel like if you are in this process and either you find somebody you click with or you don't, and if you're not spending any real time trying to get close to one person, just adding on people, now you're playing the game, so you got to figure out which thing you're doing. Sahara need to take Taye out to school. I think they all need to go to school for different reasons. And I might need to sign up myself. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Ciao. Anyway, Hussein tells Angie that, Rose is gone. That's primarily who he's been focused on in this, particular situation that they have themselves in. She was over at that resort telling the men that she be busting windows out of cars. And if that's something, she disclosed it, so you can't be mad at her for hiding it. She said that's what she did. I feel like she has a temper problem, and she's also a little bit spoiled. She's the youngest of 11, so they always gonna make sure that Angie gets her way. I feel like I heard her say that. So anyway, he said he's not about to go over there and, meet her family and, take her to the bridge or whatever, just to, let her down. So respect for that. Y'all was jumping on Hussein for he lost a good one and, let go of Rose, and Rose be keeping secrets. And that's something to put pause on. I don't know if I want to keep going because, the way she moving is making me uncomfortable. She could have said the same thing. She said, you don't be calling, and giving me enough attention. Like everybody was voicing what their issues were. Hey, J. Tony. J. Tony, I saw you say something about somebody being in jail was being a soldier and it's no big deal. And I was like, I'm going to get back to that comment, but cut it out. That's garbage. What are you talking about? Hussein self-eliminated. I think that's what he should have done. She respected it too. She's at least he's not over here trying to take her, meet her family and be fake and all of that. So Cam did. Cam came over there being fake and meeting her family. What was last week? Last week really could have been a time where, they start making these declarations. Where is Cam and her family? I know I got it somewhere. Maybe I did it. Here it is. That thing? Yes. So Angie brought her brother and his wife and her sister, and Cam came over there sitting and pretending like this might be one of the options that he's going to go with. He said, she was over there being scary, saying she was going to bust the windows out of people's car. And her brother was like, that scared you? Well, yeah. He looked at his wife. Is he afraid that she might bust the windows out of his car? I don't know. I think, brother, that's something to put pause on. That means I don't know, like, what I'm going to do to set this lady off to there. Like, is it going to be leave up the toilet seat, or what is it the thing? What is the straw that will take her there? So I feel like he had a reasonable, concern, but I also feel like she shouldn't be here. You already know what it is, and this is where you get you in trouble, trying to keep people around. Now, I can say that production probably made it this way, but you have to figure out a way, I guess, to be honest. We know, or at least make your person feel more comfortable, because you're not very good at that. You think you're running things. Oh, leader, led yourself into some mess. Angie's sister really didn't say anything. Her sister-in-law said communication is the key. Everybody has been saying that. I feel like I've heard that 16 different times this week on different shows. these types of shows, these reality dating shows. Communication is the key, I would say, and also comprehension. Most houses have two locks. I feel like in order to make it a happy home, you're going to need to understand both of those things. Communicating is taking a bat and busting the windows out of your car. I communicated, not I, Angie did. Angie communicated that she was very upset and she would like for you to feel as upset as she feels. That's, what it is. Now, you need to comprehend and understand what her levels are. That takes time. I don't know that I want to get to there. I don't want to know that that's your level. I would feel like we can communicate our way through things without, vandalism. Like I said, I'm a cop to it. I might bust a plant or break a candle. I probably would be that person. The rooms they have where you go, those rage rooms. I don't know about sledgehammers and things. I'm not trying to go over there and come back bruised up. I just like a toss of glass or something. They need like a little dainty one for people that just want to break some shit without hurting themselves. Anyway, Angie will bust car windows out, and that seems like hard. How hard do you have to break a car window? Bust a car window. Enough of that. I don't think Angie and Cam are over here communicating. I think they're playing. Her sister-in-law asked him, is he ready to love and how does he see love? He said, what did he say? It's scary. And he had a good old speech together. He thinks it's scary and that he's trying, to work on his things and hopefully he'll be better every day. I mean, okay. I feel like he thought it through at least. Now, if he's actively doing those things, I do not know. But, there you go. Cam is working on, becoming a better him. I feel like he needs a little bit more work. Cam is only, 31? I feel like Cam is pretty young. And he may have learned a lesson through, he hasn't been in very long relationships. He says his relationships from the past have also been toxic. So, I mean, if he's gonna have to do the same work, therapy. Angie says she is working in a therapy class. Maybe that's the connection they can have. I don't think so. Based on what I seen at the reunion, he's gonna have to find another therapist. But I feel like his communication was very clear. I just feel like he got a lot more work to do. And he's also playing games because the brother said he just wants to see Angie happy. And Angie asked him, can he do that? He said, I already do. And then they had this, she giggled and she leaned over and he did not lean over back. So she kissed him on the cheek. And I don't know, this is also something I don't really like that much. I don't like to see people lean in, not people. I don't like to see the woman lean in and the man just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like letting you do it. It says that you're giving a lot more than he's giving. And so don't. When you talk about being affectionate, I don't want to lean into your space. I want to be invited in. Now, when I'm invited in, it's all good. She wasn't invited and she went anyway. What does that say about her, like, becoming a therapist? Because what are the qualifications? Seems like, let me stop. Seems like she has some things to work through. That's all I'm saying. She says she do everything. I do everything. I do everything. You're still doing it because he literally leaned on his hand, did not move. She leaned in, kissed him on the cheek. He didn't even lean like a little bit. That speaks volumes. And I don't know that he was leaning in on Sahara the way he was supposed to be. Clearly not. He left. He said he left concerned about her temper still. He's not sure about that. And he said he has more questions now than he had when he left there. When he got there. So if you went in there, met her family, you're not sure about her temper. None of these people here made you feel more comfortable about that. The response was, that scares you? Like, you might wait till you see what else is going to happen. That's what it's giving. And you have more questions than you have, when you left. So I feel like, Cam, that was your time to decide. That was your time to decide. That was your time to make Sahara know that she could rest and be a little bit more comfortable. Regardless to what the process is, if you're feeling a certain way about a person and your feelings are genuine, you want to make her feel comfortable. Jay was over there trying to make sure, have this girl understand that he was not trying to be rubbing on no necks and things anymore. It got him in too much trouble. He was over there pushing limits too, but we'll get to him. Angie's brother says she's too spicy for him, and she's scaring the man away. I guess. How'd she get spicy? That's the better question. What was going on over there in that house with all them kids? That's a lot of kids. I have a aunt who had, must have been 5 of them. Their house was wild, just wild. I would go spend the night over there. We had jumping on the beds going on, and and that house had grown kids all the way to us. Me and my cousin were the younger one, so I was spending the night with somebody. One of the cousins. My brother and sister were grown when I was born, so it was a ball going over there, getting all wild and doing all stuff I couldn't do at my house. When I came home, there would be no jumping on any furniture or any of that type of stuff. And when they came over, and there was only 2 and within my age range, but when they came over to spend the night in my house, there were certain toys you had to put the things away, because if you let them kids play with that new doll, it will end up broken. Anyway. I don't know. That's what seems like happens when you have 11 siblings and you're at the last one. That means there's lots of kids before you that can take care of you. What else happened over here? Jay and Kiara. What y'all talking about? No, Sid, not your house. I'm talking about my cousins, when I was a little kid's house. And we used to go over there. Listen, it was very fun. I'm just saying, their house was wild because there was a lot of children. My house was quiet. My mother wasn't finna have none of that. And if you want somebody to spend the night, there were only 2 of them that were in my age range. Only one of them can come. We're not taking any more than one. So y'all decide which one is coming. Anyway, who else we got? Though it took me some time. I like that song. Where's Jay and now I'm over here, I can't see. Jay and girl. Did I forget about them? Y'all, I know I'm technically challenged, so enjoy yourselves in the chat. And while you're over here, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be over here talking about all the things. Let me see if I can find a picture of Jay and her friends, because I know I took it. There they go. Jay met Kiara's people. This was cute. The cousins were fun. Jay was very comfortable. Seems like Jay is used to these types of conversations. Jay is very good with the ladies. Well, the cousins be out here, Tina. I can't see, girl. Do you think Jay is shady? Aw, Jay, she thinks you're shady. Why you say that? I don't think Jay is shady. I think he's no shadier than Miss Kiara. I think, when you meet your match, you meet your match. So, yeah, he thought he was going to be slick and see how flirty he can be. If that's going to be an issue for her, then at least they're addressing it now. We got to have one couple over here that we spent a whole year. Can we just have one? Just let me have this one. All of them are shady. Now we talking about men. That's what they do. They be shady. Women be shady too, I guess, but not the same. Anyway, they had a good little interaction between Jay and her cousins. They made him explain about what happened over here at the resort, as they should have. Jay, you need to be put on the spot. I want her dad to ask, and her mother to ask, and her grandmother, and however many, her aunts, her uncles. I want everybody she introduces you to ask you about that time you was over there feeling up on some girl at the resort. And then you will never do it again. Have you seen those TikToks where the guy's in the store and the girl will come up and be like, hi, and he's like, nope, stay away. I'm taken. Leave me alone. It don't have to be that serious, but there's a line of respect, and you know when you're crossing it. So don't sit up there and act like you don't. And if they're going to move forward in a relationship, both sides of the family, like this engagement with her and the cousins was fun, and her engagement with his family was fun. So if these two people are hanging out with each other, with their people, they're going to be comfortable. I think that's important. I don't want to be like going over with my man's people and be like, oh my God, I hate going over there. He'll go over there and he will, entertain these ladies and, talk about how much he thinks their cousin is cute and bougie, and they'll eat it up. So Jay and Kiara, I heart this. What y'all think? Tina thinks that Jay is too smooth. I have to have some of my fantasy island in my head when I watch this stuff. If I think too much about the reality, it's very cute. Like they have children that are same age. Like if you were a matchmaker trying to match people up, this would definitely work. He said he not afraid to pay them bills, so y'all relax. And then that creepy other friend can go somewhere. This right here, this man, I try to avoid even seeing him on my screen. I knew he wasn't gonna be about nothing when he came over here and took his shirt off as soon as we met him. Where is their little meetup? I remember what his cousin said, her cousin. So Taye brings Cisco over here to meet her aunt and her cousin. And Cisco sat down, and you can see they got a few drinks. But before them drinks got over there, that lady was like, so let's get to these questions. When you're angry, how do you treat your partner? I think that's a very good question, cousin. He didn't answer it. He said he copes with stress by working out. So if Taye and Francisco over here get elevated, then she's going to walk away. Well, she says she walks away. So that's a match. She going to walk away and he going to go work out. So, okay, this might be, a good thing for them. Got to give him something, girl, because there ain't much left. The cousin said, she was asking him a bunch of questions and he had to stop her. He was like, wait, can we let the aunt ask a question? Well, yeah. And she pulled a little piece of paper out of her pocketbook and she asked him, do you make each other laugh? I mean, I guess they bumbled over that question. He's goofy. She thinks it's funny. I suppose. I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's a meathead. And y'all are going to think so too. Anyway. What are your intentions? He said to continue to grow into possibly marriage and children. I think that's what, if you meet somebody at 42 years old, his mindset should be settling down and having a wife and children. He also should not need a person in his life in order to be motivated to do what it is he needs. So if you just want to be out there in these streets knocking them down like you claim to, because the man said he got a body count. And he will do it anywhere, and even in a Burger King bathroom. That's how he gets down. I'm just telling you what came out of his mouth. Anyway, I don't know. I think at his age, that's the mindset you should probably be in. If you don't have kids, you're looking to settle down with someone, get married, have children together. If both people are on equal playing fields, which her cousin pointed out they are not, she's single and she is very qualified and managing on her own. He is also single. He said he worked for the public housing authority. Now, I don't know if he qualified for any of that housing or if that's the room that he's in is one that they provided for him. I don't know. All I know is he is not financially stable on his own enough to be thinking about a wife and children. And if that's like what your goals are in life, then you work towards them. You don't like look for some lady that's already financially stable, throw a few kids in her and hope your dreams come true. We still talk about Jay. Tina said that's true, but I guess he apologized for whatever flirtatious looks got me kind of looking at him. And she should be looking at him too, because he is flirtatious. But that's a small thing. This meathead right here, child, I have nothing good to say about Francisco. His Spanish ain't even that good, to be honest. That ain't what I said, that's what I heard. Anyway. What was I over here doing? He's not financially stable. The cousin said she's concerned about that. She said she's concerned that, and she's like, he nice, but I don't know if y'all are in the same playing field when it comes to real life. Real life like has you on a daily basis sometimes. Like I said when I got here, it's Monday. I haven't had anything really stressful happen in my life necessarily. It's been a regular Monday, but just all the drama that's going on around us right now is creating a tension that's making me feel anxious. I'll put it like that. I spend a lot of my time on social media collecting things, and we all see each other for those of us that are content creators out here in these streets looking for content. But anyway, I know there's so many more issues. He's far worse than somebody without a job. And if you're falling in love with potential, please know what the potential is. He ain't even offering up that. We don't know what he could potentially do. Get a job on a Tubi movie? Congratulations. I mean, somebody said him and Angie got a job on a Tubi movie. That's great. But even Gabrielle Union is out here worried about how she's going to pay her bills. So, good luck with that. I talked about Cam and Angie's family. I don't have my notes organized, so excuse me being disheveled, but I'm just rolling it off the top of my head because it's not that hard to have feelings about what's going on over here. Sahara said her sister is her times 3. They are cute, both of them. I think, she said her sister is her times 3. She wasn't really giving that. I guess I would have to see more than the sister. I don't know who's the oldest, who's the youngest, but Sahara girl, I think your sister is, a little bit like you, but, a little bit more chill too. At least she is in this moment. You used to cameras and all that. Maybe she was feeling like, let me just chill. First question, where your baby mama? He said right here. Then he said he don't have one. He doesn't have one. Cam here is a fireman, independent living, has his own car and home and things. And he's attractive. The people were saying that he's got a nice body. He's a fireman. That doesn't surprise me. Him and your sister have a little thing over here, but Cam is a knucklehead over here playing games instead of just saying what it really is. If you find somebody you like and you might want to like chill with them after this, now I ain't saying they ain't chilling after this. All I'm saying is that it's not a match. The energy don't match. It did match, but it doesn't match anymore. She asked him about his other connections, and he said he still has another connection. Why, Cam. I feel like there was a way that he could have let her know in that moment. He's focused on her. He could have said just that. I'm focused on her right here. You saying you still got things to think about tomorrow and you still don't know. I think it's super messed up, regardless to that this is a game. And I'm saying if it's somebody that you genuinely like, then you make sure she's comfortable. Taye walked over to her bridge or stairs or wherever they had her standing, and she had no doubts in her mind that she was at least the one, whether he was going to pick her or not. She knew she was the only one he was considering. Kiara walked over to the middle of the park on the sidewalk, and my man. She got her man. Jay made it very clear pretty much from day one that this is one I like. This is what I'm going to pursue. You and Sahara have the things. You're saying ups and downs, but that date y'all had at the marina seemed like you were trying to, seal the deal. Now here we are again, and you still trying to figure it out, child. No wonder she made the decision she made. He's irritated because she's pressuring him to answer her. Sahara, most of these men out here are not gonna respond well to the pressure, even though they know. I think there's a difference between pressuring someone and having somebody play in your face, is because for me, that's the thing that's annoying. This right here, you playing in my face. I'll let you know tomorrow. There's other words you can use, like I said, just to make her feel comfortable. Thank you, Elsie. But you over here playing and not making her feel secure for somebody who you're afraid to even go over there and see what's up because, child, Cam is playing games and he played himself as far as I'm concerned. Sahara, like I said, most men are not going to respond well to that energy. So you also are going to have to figure out another way to, like, once you feel in the type of way, you're going to have to figure out a way to express your feelings. She says she's a Cancer. I don't know if Cancers can do that. They got to get it out. They got to say how they feel and let you know that then they're very feelings people. I don't know what his sign is, but this is why astrology is helpful, because then you can know what energy. I don't know what her other risings and things, they all play a part, but you learning each other. I haven't heard her say that she would be violent. I feel like she's very sensitive. That's why she, pop off a little bit. He's irritated because he wants to be the leader and he wants to dictate how things all play out. He had it all figured out in his head, and you, Sahara, were supposed to sit there and let Cam manage and lead. And I feel like she could have done that had she been feeling secure. I'm not getting ready to throw myself in just for you to, play me. So quit playing and maybe you'll both get further. Yes, Cam played herself and it was unnecessary. And, I get that. I hate even saying rough around the edges because she's responding. I think that's what they're showing us all the time, is her responding to something that, made her feel uncomfortable. And I know I'm opposite, yin and yang. I'm also I'm a Capricorn. Cancer is like, the yin and yang of that. Some of y'all know, y'all astrology people know how it works. Anyway, I'm also someone who gets really worked up if I feel like you're trying to play in my face. And I don't think that's a Cancer thing or a Capricorn thing. I think that's a people thing that really pisses me off. So I'm probably not going to respond real cutesy and calmly, because if you're playing in my face, now I don't care about how you're receiving the thing either. So there's an art to manipulation, I suppose, but playing in my face is not the same thing as playing the game. And if you had made her feel comfortable, Cam, she probably would have not responded the way she did. So he got up. She's like, get the hell on now. She said, what did she say? Thank you for coming. I know you have others to meet as well. I feel like decision made. She let you know right then. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day. I know you got others to meet as well. That was fuck off as far as I'm concerned. That's the way I heard it because, you know, he missed his opportunity. Maybe next time, maybe he'd get a second chance. It all goes down, not necessarily over here in front of this film crew. They all still live in Philly and they all still know each other. Ja Tony, I don't F with astrology. I was born under the sign of delivery room. Ah ha ha. I bet you, we don't need to know. Yeah, just say your sign. And I could probably tell you, because you be full of jokes, Ja Tony. What is it? Maybe if I could guess, Aquarius is giving Chaz energy. Playing games. Okay. So I think that was all the meetups, child. We get over to the end of the who's gonna choose who. We got Kiara and Jay over here. I don't think either one, I know any of us were surprised by this. I think Kiara looks lovely. I like her dress. I wish she would have done something different with her hair, though. I feel like she gave, I feel like she was trying to give, like not trying too hard, and I can appreciate that. But I wish it was just a few like tendrils, not spirally curls, just a little wave here and wave there, just to make it look a little more intentional. But she looks great in that dress. Her butt is right up there saying, "What's up, y'all?" The cleavage was cleavaging. Jay. Now they eating you up, baby, and I can only tell you that I didn't mind the shirt, but the pants was not. I wish you would have gave it a little more effort. You were just a little too casual to be standing in front of this lady in this beautiful dress. Kira, he said he like it bougie. Go ahead and help him. That's a small thing. We gonna have Jay tight and right, in the wardrobe department. That just may not be his thing. And fashion is not everybody's thing. So I'm not even going to knock him for that. It's not ugly. It's just too casual. It's just not giving enough effort for you come tell this lady over here that you choose her. And if you don't start stepping yourself around to the barbershop and get an edge up on more of a consistent occasion, or buy you a trimmer, you could do it in your bathroom. Don't do it. Don't mess up your edge. Just go ahead and run through the barbershop. It's not that serious, Jay. You got your hair braided up. You were supposed to come over here. You look like you probably smell good. I'm going to give you that. But you need to go to the barbershop and try a little harder in the wardrobe department. They love each other. My man, my man, my man. We knew that's what it was going to be. I heart this. I don't really be holding people to when they're like, they're not together now. Okay, every relationship is not meant to last forever, but I hope they do because they live in Philly. They're in their, town that they grew up in. And I think once you in your city for a long time, the options are like not that much. She's in her 30s. She's got 2 children. She is ready to settle down to something. And, he seems like that too. Like he's a dad that has custody of his children. So to pair up, I mean, I heart this. I hope this is a thing. I do, because it is hard to find good people, good partners. Especially, like I said, you got to go to a whole other city and then start all over. And then it ain't shit over there either in that city. Well, let's go here. Let's get into this clown. So Sahara showed out is what she did. Sahara, honey, you look amazing in that dress. I don't like those shoes, but I feel like you got to consider like walking around concrete and all of that in high heel shoes. It just feels like I wish you would have found something a little more dainty. a little more, you could stay with comfortable, but it was a little bit too chunky, in my opinion. The dress is fire. And she knew exactly what she was doing. She just went prancing up there in that little dress, and Cam is standing up here. He looked nice in a suit. I'm not gonna knock him for that. He just thought he had this whole scenario played out in his head because he's over here leading. He don't know he lost last night when he got up from that table, but somehow or another, this man has it in his head that he's controlling the narrative here. He had a little gift. I don't remember what it was. That's cute. He should bring her gifts. When you're going to come tell the lady, that you chose her, you should have a little gift and tell. So he's sitting there. Oh my God. I know I made the right choice when I chose Sahara. And he's telling her how from day one, he's got his speech all worked out. From day one, I knew you were my ride or die. You hung in there with me. She's like, so what took you so long to figure it out? Last night was 12 hours ago. And even still then, you were over here saying you didn't have your mind made up yet. And that's not a good feeling. How do you think I felt? And I'm like, she's absolutely right. This man right here went over to last week to the table with Rose. He eliminated her, told her she wasn't ready to love. Hussein caught all the heat for it because he thought it was not cool for her to omit information, but he wasn't actually one that eliminated her. This guy did. He eliminated her, not even for the same reason. He eliminated her because he thought she chose Hussein. Only for that reason. So he didn't like it. He didn't like how it felt for somebody that he probably really wasn't into so much necessarily. At least he was connected with Rose from the very beginning. He went and got Angie out of nowhere, which was even more disrespectful, but she's not having it. You should have let her know last night. And he's telling Sahara, stop. What if I was going to choose you? She was like, and I was going to do the same thing. She already had it in her mind that she was going to choose herself, as she should. So, and I think, he realized in that moment that he messed up. I don't believe for a minute that, he necessarily gave up there. Because like I said, these people still live in the same city. If he wants to pursue her, he knows what she's going to put up with, and he knows how he's got to make her feel. So we're not going to go be doing stupid shit just for the sake of this TV show. I'm going to let this man know right now that's not it. So if you want to choose me, then you're going to make me feel a certain type of way before you get to that conversation. Thank you for the gift, though. I'm not mad at it. Somehow, I feel like Cam was walking around acting like Sahara was lucky to have him just because she didn't have another connection. Wasn't nothing over there for her to connect with. Speaking of whack-ass connections, the love we never wanted. You know what's crazy is, Taye, I don't like that dress. I don't know what you were thinking about. I don't like any of it. It was cute on the top, but maybe you should have just went ahead and got a dress, a long one. Just let it be long. But that one was not flattering at all. This boy looked like he about to go park your car. Francisco, have you ever thought about parking cars, as a side job? Not as your whole life's career. Sometimes, like Tabitha said, y'all entrepreneurs are going to have to go out here and get a job. Y'all got so mad at her for saying that. She went over here and said, give up your dreams. What'd you say? Hussein said, not her telling about her prison man was a deal breaker. Listen, you said that before. I don't know why you think that makes him scared. It's not about her man being in prison. Nobody cares. He over here talking about Hussein and Hussein. Well, how you spell it? We all spell it. I know how to spell it the right way, but it makes me say it wrong. That's funny. Anyway, I'm gonna engage in this right quick. Nobody said that he gave a care about this man being in jail or that he was afraid of this man coming from jail. That was not the issue. I don't even know that that was a deal breaker because they had the conversation and they kind of smoothed that out. He did not eliminate her. Cam did. But we're not gonna act like it wouldn't make you feel a way if somebody exposed that kind of information to you, like in the way she did it. That's it. That's all. We over here with, this man applying for a job to park cars. You have to invest in your dream. You know what I'm saying? You have to give it up. Maybe go over here, park a few cars. You got the outfit, you know what I'm saying? And then you can, get your money up. Francisco, I'm going to roast his ass every time I see him. Now that I see how charming a person he is. She said, yeah, I don't know why. He's standing here telling her, I don't know. Did he write the script? He probably did. Francisco and Cam are buddies. I feel like they probably definitely sat down somewhere writing their scripts so they can let these ladies know, how this story was going to end. This fantasy story is going to end. Tay, if you have been standing at these stairs with Khalil, we would probably be all cheering in our seats. I'm just saying. Right now, right here, we are all confused as to what is actually happening. And I'm also say this. You sent Naeem home because he had kids and because he cheated in his past, just like this man has. The man said he has bodies. He be out there targeting them. He has his, bullseye set on them. And then he takes them down because he's very good at it. That's what he said. You saw Cisco in a shaving commercial. He's got a shaving commercial. And he's got a mushroom tea commercial. Those are gigs. They don't, they're not buying no mansions or things. He doesn't have consistent work. Cisco, is so full of himself. It's ridiculous. And I think Cisco says that I think Cisco thinks that his good looks and his bad Spanish is going to carry him, to the soft life that he so desires. Child. He looking for a sugar mama. I was talking about Naeem. Naeem has, first of all, he's got 2 adult children. So, 3 under the age of 18. That kind of changes the picture. He had a life. And he also has a business. He does a whole lot within his community. He has his own house, his own car. He takes care of his kids. And he only speaks positivity. That's all I've seen of him. Look out for the Wave podcast, the Real Wave podcast. I'll put the link down in the description box. But he is somebody with a great personality. This was one of her options. I'm just saying, there's too many, y'all, myself included. We judged him a lot, like based on, what he was bringing to the table. And I still feel like his situation is not necessarily one for a dating show per se, but he's a heck of a lot better than this, whatever you got standing in front of you right now. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, may they probably not live forever after happily. I don't see that coming. So I saw this. So I'm going to share it with y'all because, he put it out there. And so now I'm going to share it with you. And this is the type of guy this Francisco is. I'm wondering now, like, what the hell was he even saying? Like I said, he's a good actor. He showed himself to be he's kind, he's gentle, he's a good man. He's just like a Saint Bernard. Those are my words. I'm just saying, he's loyal. Like even her aunt, he's a kind man. All of these things that they were saying about him. And I was like, is that right? Well, that ain't what I've seen. So this is what I've seen, and I'm going to share with y'all. And if y'all want to go see some more of it, you're welcome to do that. But this is Francisco.
look like you ready to fucking compete. But I'm saying as a man, you have to be able to be presentable. Woman, the same thing. You can't be the mother of my fucking child and be a fat behemoth bitch. You can't be fat. You can't.
Cisco.
No, it's real. Like that's the thing. Is like we get in these environments where it's supposed to be politically correct. Like no, when me and him together, yeah, dog. Fuck no. Look at her fat ass. You don't get the like when we be at the bar and women come up. I just want to say you're a funny show, ready to love. Like you don't stand a chance. Like come on, stop.
Everybody.
No, it ain't no Cisco. It's the truth. Jazz. Let an ugly nigga come to you. You're gonna say the same shit. Like, homie, you're a little bit more diplomatic than I am, and a little bit more politically correct. But no,
she gonna say no in a nice way.
She's gonna say no. I say no in a nice way, but in my mind, I'm fucking grinding her. Like the audacity of your big ass to come wibble wobble your fat ass over here and try to talk to me.
Now, sis, for all
this is the Francisco show right now, y'all.
No, it's not.
For all of our big listeners, all of our big girls that are listeners.
Oh my God, bro.
And when I'm talking sloppy, I ain't. You come and try to talk to me, and I don't know you. By all means, I get to know you. You big. You not sloppy.
Okay. Okay.
We've been.
Yeah. That's her king, child. I mean, there's so much more, but I couldn't keep listening to that nonsense. But I'm like, he's sitting there saying all of this nonsense to a plus size woman. And then for all the women that think, Cisco, I mean, he's just going through a hard time and y'all rolling up on him at the club, and that's the attitude. Y'all have the audacity to come say something to this man who ain't even got a ride over there. He came with Cam, and Cam is associating himself with this guy. This is your friend. It's the Cisco show. Y'all are toxic perspective. If you want to see the real Cisco, go over there on the toxic perspective, get them some views, like their video. If you want to listen to this nigga run his mouth, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening there. I don't know like how he pulled the wool over her eyes based on her other two options. I'm just curious. Anyway, yeah, so the reunion looks like it's gonna be fire, y'all. We got 2 more episodes, and then we're on to, where are we on to? Something else. I think they said Detroit is next. Detroit or Chicago. I don't know. Now I need a break. Y'all had y'all's break in summer, and then you went on your what do you call it? Vacation, Labor Day vacation. I need a break. You good, Tina? You don't need any more Cisco? The audacity. I was like, that's downright disgusting. That was one of those things that's going to go under the umbrella of that didn't age well, especially when he's somewhere trying to get a job, and then somebody goes back in their archives of all the ignorance that has come out of this man's mouth. There's much more. But my brain was on enough of that. Next week, y'all, is the reunion. Looks kind of hot, looks kind of spicy. We're gonna see if Cam is somebody's father and if Hussein was incarcerated. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.